Well, hi. Today is Friday, March 6, 2026. I'm Todd Studer, and this is Morning Coffee. Weather's been kind of weird all spring long, and the good folks at Crescent Hill, just north of Council Bluffs, have been working hard to make sure that the skiers and the snowboarders and the sledders all have a great experience. So, are they going to be open this weekend after all of this weather? I don't know, but I thought maybe we should check in with a man who does. Chris Andrew manages everything up there at Crescent Hill and was able to stop into the studio and fill us in on what has happened this season, some of the decision making that goes on to see whether or not they can get another weekend of skiing and snowboarding out of this season, and just talk too about some of the great folks that have been helping everyone have a great experience. So, Chris Andrew from Crescent Hill is our guest today on Morning Coffee. And while you're on your way up to Crescent Hill out of Council Bluffs, you should stop at the Mile Away up Old Lincoln Highway. This family run bar and grill is your go to for mouthwatering wings, unbeatable weekly specials, and a welcoming atmosphere that feels like home. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, they're open Tuesday through Sunday. They do take Mondays off. Everybody needs a day off, and that is their day of rest. And we encourage you to stop in and relax and enjoy some good times. Follow them on Facebook for their latest events and specials. Morning Coffee supported by Bryce Taylor and GLI Insurance Group, serving Council Bluffs, Tabor, and Clarinda. March in Iowa, well, it's that in-between season. It's not quite winter, not quite spring, and it's a good time to take 5 minutes and make sure your home vehicles and anything you're pulling out for warmer weather are properly covered. Bryce and the GLI team live and work right here in our communities. They're always happy to help you head into spring with confidence. GLI Insurance Group, local service, all seasons. This is Chris Andrew. He is the man in charge at Crescent Hill, and we want to find out whether or not all the skiers and snowboarders and sledders still have an option yet. And what I'm hearing right now so far, by the way, thank you for being here.
You're very welcome, Todd. Yeah.
But it sounds like you don't know yet. It's kind of up in the air. We're not really sure what's going to happen.
Exactly. Mother Nature at this time of year is a little bit finicky, and we just don't know. I mean, we're coming off of, today's forecast to be 60 degrees, tomorrow's forecast to be 70. But as we know with forecasts, are we going to get the rain?
Right.
We don't know. So until we know for sure what happens overnight tonight and how the forecast is going to play out through Friday and Friday evening, our team has communicated with the general public through our social media channels and our website that says, hey, we're looking at everything. We're not going to open on Friday, but Saturday is still up in the air. We're going to let you know.
So the call has been made for Friday.
Call's been made for Friday.
And we know that not opening at all on Friday with a
Correct.
question mark still on Saturday.
Question marks on Saturday. It really just depends on what kind of precipitation we get, how much of it, how warm it gets, if the sun comes out during, later this afternoon. There's a lot of factors play into it. And we want to make sure we're delivering an excellent experience for our guests as well. So that plays into it too. So if we don't think that we can deliver an excellent experience, we might not offer that, right? So we might, we've got a few options, whether it's skiing and snowboarding and sledding as per our regular schedule that we would normally have, or maybe the snow's in really bad shape and we can pull off sledding in the evening without issue, but we don't feel we can do skiing and snowboarding. 4 p.m. Friday, we're going to discuss internally and then push all that out to our social media channels and our website and let everybody know.
From an outsider's point of view, it seems like it's been a little bit of a challenging year for you. Is that an accurate statement?
Absolutely. Yes. So, being in the ski industry and trying to deliver excellent experiences to our guests with snow and snow quality, it's always a challenge. This year, it's been really warm through February. Thankfully, we've got an excellent snowmaking crew and a great grooming crew, and we've been able to combat that really, really well. It really does help that we've got some really, really good high-tech snowmaking equipment, and we upgraded that when the county took over. So we invested so that we could keep skiing and snowboarding and offering that outdoor winter recreation to folks, even if it does get warm. So we had season pass holders come out even last weekend saying, I can't believe you guys are still open. How did you do that? Right? But it's because we have this great, the great snowmaking system and snowmakers and grooming crew that know how to deal with the temps. We're able to bounce right back and get us back in shape really quick.
Is there specific challenges that you feel are a little more unique to our area? Listen, you've got to go a long way to find another place to ski
Yes.
from Crescent Hill.
Yes.
So, the challenges that you guys are facing is uh, let alone the specific what's happening during the year, but is there things that are just kind of unique to Crescent Hill that probably other places don't face as bad?
I don't think so. I think most of the Midwest ski areas are kind of they face similar circumstances. In fact, you go as down to Kansas City, Kansas area. There's a ski area called Snow Creek. They get it a little bit worse than us. They get warmer.
Yeah.
They've already closed for the season, and they opened later than we did. They don't have quite the high tech snowmaking system as we do, so they're not able to bounce back as quick or open as soon sometimes. So we've kind of made preparations and been proactive to help combat the conditions Midwest ski areas face, and it's pretty common across the board.
Do you stay in contact with a lot of those other places? Is it like a cooperative thing and you just kind of let each other know how it's working?
Not a little bit,
A little bit?
a little
Yeah.
bit. A lot of it is, you're seeing what they're posting on social media as well. We're all kind of in the thick of it right now, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
through the season, so everybody's going through the same motions. And I mean, the goal is, deliver the best experience you possibly can to your guests and encourage them to come out, even when there's no snow in their backyard.
I think
So
you've done a pretty good job of that because a couple of times that I have been out, everybody's got smiles on their faces. It looks like everybody's having a great time.
yeah, and we really strive to train our staff, and it's take in mind this is seasonal staff. We hire primarily, and there's only 3 of us that are out there full time, so all the rest of the staff is seasonal. So we train them. We do a really good job of training them on what good guest service looks like, and what good quality servitude looks like towards our guests.
Every time that I'm out there, I notice that you're going to see a lot of Nebraska plates that are over there. To be
Mm-hmm.
honest, I think I've seen some Missouri plates coming in, whether it's at Crescent Hill or any of the other of the county parks as well. And this is more, and you reach out a larger area than just Southwest Iowa.
Absolutely. In fact, I was looking at some statistics and some data earlier today and yesterday. We draw from probably 4 or 5 states close to us. I definitely Nebraska's
Mm-hmm.
the highest number over everybody else, but Kansas, Missouri, South Dakota, um, even Wisconsin, Illinois. There's people traveling from all over the place that come and visit.
Have you heard any feedback from those folks as to why they're coming this far to visit Crescent Hill?
Yes, so some of them are on vacation visiting relatives. Some of them are just driving through. There's a good handful from, I would say, low, south of us, so Kansas, Missouri area. Um, those folks are coming up because they're getting something they don't have down there. They do have a ski area in Kansas, but again, it's hit or miss whether it's going to be open or not. And they know that they can look at our website, see the hours, and they're accurate, so they come on up. And we have great terrain. I've heard that from numerous people that our ski area offers really interesting terrain that you can't find anywhere else. And thankfully, we can thank the Les Hills for that, and the Les Hills, formation for providing just an excellent, source for us to have runs on. It's amazing.
You also have done a lot of work getting lifts repaired, refurbished, getting them online,
Mhm.
and uh, it works a lot smoother when you got everything operating, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
it sure does. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we put in significant modification to our double chairlift this year. We completely replaced the bottom terminal, and it was a nice upgrade for us because it changed how folks loaded onto that chairlift, and it made it a lot more customer friendly, lot more efficient and smoother. And it's been a great experience. Folks have really, really loved it.
I was curious because the last time I was out there, I think that double was still being worked on. Is there a different place that drops you off up at the top, depending on which lift you get on, or
There
either
is.
one can work?
Yeah, so either one is fine. The quad chair lift, it doesn't go as high, and it accesses primarily all green or beginner terrain. So if you use the double chair lift, it takes you up all the way to the highest point at Crescent Hill, and then you can access the blues, the greens, and the black runs, the more expert terrain, which is great. So we actually put a sign up that says, this isn't a beginner lift, because when you get off of it, you're accessing blues right away. So you're not going to have a green run up there. You're not going to have a beginner run up there. So
no options for the beginner. That if you get up there, you got to have some skill to get down.
Obviously, there is beginners that decide to travel up there,
Mm-hmm.
and thankfully our lift ops are really, really good at recognizing that. We can slow that lift down to make their lives a little easier. So yeah, it's a nice option to have both those going and serve two different kinds of customers.
Talk about your staff that you've had, Chris. That I know that a lot of people have to, as you said, seasonal work. So it takes the right person to be able to plug into that system, and it takes a lot of them to operate this smoothly.
It does, absolutely. So we hire over 100 seasonal employees every single season, and in various departments. So we run a restaurant, right? We have a kitchen and a bar, and the rental shop, front desk is ticketing and service, guest service. So we have all these little components, and each employee is kind of tailored to where they apply to, and then we interview them, and sometimes we'll move them around. Sometimes we'll find somebody that's applying for one department. After talking to them, we realize, what, maybe you should go apply with the kitchen manager instead, and talk to them and see maybe your skills will be better used over in that department. So it's been pretty good. We do have a really high rate of return. So we probably get about 70 to 75%
really
staff returning seasonal year after year, which really, really helps. That helps. So as we, those new staff get trained up every year, and they, so we have some that fall off, but we have, about 75% that return. They're already ready to go. And, we might tweak some processes here or there. There might be policy updates, but they can jump right in and start getting things done.
How have all of your special evenings gone this year? I see them anytime that you're doing something. I see the posts.
Yeah,
and usually it's all right. We're sold out of snowboard. Sorry, I see that a lot too.
The Midnight Madness events, 8 p.m. to midnight, have gone extremely well. Really, really good. We just finished having one last Saturday. The parking lot wasn't at max capacity this time, and that was okay. We did sell out of snowboards, which was pretty wild. Pretty much consistent. I think all 5 of them we sold out of snowboards, which is great. And yeah, they've been a good success. We get a really good, fun crowd out for those evenings, and it's a great chance for them to get on the snow, kind of let loose a little bit, have a couple cocktails if they choose.
Yes.
And it's just under the lights at the ski area is a lot of fun.
Well, if you are able to be open this weekend, and we don't know yet, that's an if.
Not sure.
And somebody hasn't been out there yet, how much gear do they need versus what you have available for rent for them?
So when I think about the gear, I kind of think of soft goods versus hard goods, right? So soft goods, you think about your gloves, your jacket, your snow pants, good socks, underlayers. That's soft goods. We don't rent that. We don't supply that.
Okay.
You can buy some gloves, and you can buy a hat at our guest services shop. But as far as the rentals, the hard goods is what we can offer. So ski boots, skis, poles. For snowboarding, you got snowboarding boots and your board.
How many different sizes of skis do you have an option for out there? I'm thinking back to when the first time I ever went skiing, I'm in north central Iowa in Humboldt, similar type of place. It's not Crescent Hill, I think it's a lot more well-defined, runs are longer, but they had all of these different size skis, and I had no clue what I was looking at.
We do as well. I mean, I think the smallest size ski we have is an 80. It's either a 70 centimeter or an 80 centimeter ski. So very small. And all the way up to about 175 centimeter skis is the longest ones. So we can pretty much fit anywhere from a 3 to 4 year old all the way up to a large guy that's 6'6", 6'7", no problem at all. And we've got the boot sizes to match all the way through the whole spectrum.
I used to think, and maybe I'm wrong about this, that the longer the ski, really the more experience you should have. Is that true, or am I wrong about that?
Yes and no. So there's kind of you kind of look at it. So depending on your height and your weight, you should be, getting fit with a certain kind of ski, right?
Okay.
So let's say, I might get a ski that's 160 centimeters long, 165 centimeters long. If I'm really good, then I might bump that up by 5 centimeters. But if I'm a beginner, never ever, we might bump that down by 5 centimeters, 5 or 10
Okay.
centimeters. So, and that just makes it a little bit easier for folks to turn on. So, it does. It's kind of your height and weight play a big factor into it, but then you got to take in consideration, how good they are. So, and it's the same way when you set your ski bindings, tighter or looser. There's a chart that we use. It's called a DIN chart.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the questions you ask. How good are you? So are you never ever a beginner, level 1, level 2, or are you an expert? And that defines how those skis get set up.
Well, it sounds like the construction folks here in the building are saying we're done. So it's been an ongoing thing. And listen, we've talked about it before that the park building is, while many of the floors are all wrapped up and finished, there are still some final touches being put into place. So we just kind of deal with it and roll with it. These are real conversations.
Absolutely.
You get noise out at the out at Crescent
Oh,
Hill
man.
too. So
There is.
yeah,
Yes.
all the time.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, Chris, thank you so much for coming in and filling us in on what's going on. We're going to cross our fingers that you get another day of skiing in. We're not sure what's going to happen because we're not 100% certain. The weather,
we don't know.
We don't know. The forecasters do the best that they can, but they'll give us chances. It's not guarantees.
And I mean, being a seasonal business that relies on weather heavily, we're tapped into it. We're looking every hour, and we're checking multiple sources. And sometimes, like right now, we're just kind of waiting and seeing what Mother Nature decides to do because we don't know.
Well, grateful for your time as always, and congratulations on a successful season and all of the hard work that you and everybody else put in out there. It's been, as we said, it's been challenging, but you guys rose to the task and made it a really enjoyable experience for a ton of folks that came out on the hill.
There's a lot of, like you said, there was a lot of smiles, and thankfully we've got an awesome team all working together and cohesively, and we're delivering. It's great.
Well, Chris Andrew, we'll wait to get word and just follow Crescent Hill on social media or go to the website to find out what the decision is as to whether or not we'll get any more skiing in this weekend. So thank you much, sir.
I cross my fingers. No, thank you, Todd. I appreciate it.
Following Crescent Hill on social media, probably the best way to be able to stay up to date with everything that's going on. And let's cross our fingers that they get yet another weekend of this snow season and skiing season there. Service Master Restorer by Schmader, they know it is hard to get back to normal when you've suffered serious property damage. Flooding, fire, smoke, mold leaves you with all sorts of questions. How am I getting all of this back to normal? Well, I can tell you how. You call Cindy Schmader with Service Master Restorer by Schmader, and she is the one she's going to calm you down and let you know everything that can be done to get you, as I said, back to normal. Here's the number, 402-339-9911. S&B Country Kennel, the top spot in Southwest Iowa when you need to know your dog will receive only the best with boarding, daycare, grooming, self-washing, training, and even a membership available to a dog park over an acre in size. S&B Country Kennel also has rescue dogs, so check with them about adoption possibilities. S&B Country Kennel, west of I-29 on Bungie Avenue, south of Council Bluffs. Thanks again, Chris Andrew, for joining us today, and we look forward to hearing a lot more about all of the parks. By the way, this Saturday, they're tapping silver maple trees for maple syrup at Botna Bend, and I think they're getting started at 11. So what that means is you can go to the Shamrock Shuffle in downtown Council Bluffs. It's on the 100 block, and then head to Hancock, go to Botna Bend for the tapping of the maple trees. And this is, it's always a fun event. Kids love it. And from what I hear, that weather permitting, if everything works right, you might even get to taste some of that maple sap straight out of a tree. How about that? And don't forget, as I said, the Shamrock Shuffle is underway. Starts at 10. I think registration begins at 9 Saturday morning. I'm going to be down there. My partner, Kyle Ranney, is going to be down there. Look for our booth. Say hi. We'll be walking around with the camera and talking to folks. Would love to get you on an interview. And then it's just going to be a wonderful weekend to be in the area. My name is Todd Studer. We'll see you back here Monday morning.